chat. We are here, and we are under attack constantly by haters abound on the internet. We try to share our work and make the world more beautiful with our music, with our art. And these people show up and they try to put us down. They try to bring us down, but not today, folks. Today, we will talk about how to deal with those haters. And I would love to hear from you on how you deal with haters. Everybody has their own approach. It's something that's not going away, but it's something we must deal with as artists, of course. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome back to an all-new TAETRO Talk. So happy to have you all here. Thank you. We are here back with another call-in show. This might be the last call-in show of the year, or maybe we'll squeeze one more in. Who can say? But thank you all so much for joining me today. If you're watching this live, fantastic. Please make sure you click the thumbs up button and say hello in chat. I see you all there in my chat. I see you all in the 343 Lab chat. Thank you all so much. And what else is going on? Well, we're back to a full streaming schedule this week. Call-in show today, music making stream on Thursday, track review stream on Saturday on my channel. If you don't know, if you're a channel member, you can submit music and I'll review your music live on stream. And that is coming up on Saturday. I'll have that up and scheduled. If you're already a channel member, you can start using that Discord channel that we use to submit your music. But yeah, there's lots going on this week. Lots of fun stuff. Hopefully you've all been enjoying the new Beat Diaries video. Hopefully you all are getting ready to call in. That's the most pressing thing. I already have some people in the chat. I actually have, we're going to bring in an artist, the artist that inspired today's subject on first to talk. We'll do that in a little bit. There's already some people in the waiting room, but there's a link at the top of the chat. It is a Zoom link. You join that link. Don't worry, you're not like instantly on the stream. You're put into a waiting room, and I bring people in one by one from the waiting room to chat. That's something that interests you and you want to chat today, it's really not a big deal. Don't feel like pressure. Don't feel like scared or worried. Just call into the show. I want to chat about haters. I want to chat about what are your experiences with haters? What have your experiences been with haters? How do you deal with it? How do you deal with criticism? Has it affected your confidence, etc.? What do you think is the right approach? I just want to hear your opinions. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Who is in the chat? First of all, I think I installed like a Chrome extension, and everybody's name is a different color, which is really cool. But if you all are seeing that too, let me know. Hello, Gemini, Bishop. My mom and dad are in the chat. Ray Calvin, hello. Groovius Maximus, Hank. Nothing pretty about synths. What's up, Rajiv Crown? Thank you for being here. Michael G, Slime Vibes. Falguna, the Ozone Chamber. So many members here. 77 Social, Danky Gnome. Danky Gnome, what a name. Per Lemming Wittis, hello. Sarah Roboski. X Dizzle, Savex. The chat just reset, so I'm going to lose my list of names. But thank you for being here. White is here. Hello, White. Leaks, Philip Entet. Hello. Looks like the vegetation has grown since you're right. You're right, actually. Yes, we have to do some trimming a bit. And the camera is still messed up, so I can't show you all the koi pond, unfortunately. But I will have that back up and running by Thursday. Leaks is turning in from Hamburg. Amazing. All right, thank you. I'm sorry if I missed a name in the chat, but as usual, we'll have plenty of opportunities to say hello. We are streaming today in conjunction with 343 Labs, which is an electronic music school based in New York, Berlin, and online. So if you want to grow as a music producer and you want to take a course from beginner, intermediate to advanced, we've got Ableton and Logic. There's mixing and mastering, which is super helpful. And there's also stuff like synthesis and sound design with really, really amazing instructors. Live instruction, none of this like download the course and do it on your own. No, you're live with an instructor, with classmates. It's a really cool experience. No matter where you are in the world, I think it's cool. So we're streaming live over on the YouTube channel for 343 Labs, which if you can go give that a follow if you're watching on my channel, that'd be great. I see Dane over there. What's good, Dane? I also see Therese, hello, thank you for being there, and F Stop, thank you for being there. Hello, hello, hello. Call-in link is in both chats. We do have people lined up ready to call in, so if you do want to get in on the show, I also apologize for the sirens. The firefighters take a lunch break every 10 minutes where they just ride the fire truck back and forth to Jersey Mike's, I'm pretty sure, because I haven't seen a fire in a long time in LA with peace and love. But that's just what it is. Anyway, there's lots of fun stuff happening. I want to give you guys a quick update. Some free stuff you can get, by the way. First of all, let me show this off. Which button do I push? It's been a while. All right, so first of all, if you go to TAETRO.com, I think there are haters actually showing up in those cars. TAETRO.com, and you click the sample packs link. There is a free 25 free loop pack there available on my Soundpack store. So if you haven't picked that up yet, that's just for appreciation for the entire community. You don't have to be a member or nothing. You just go and click on that link and you can purchase it. TAETRO.com, not that hard. Click the sample packs button. Download that. It's free. 25 loops. Hope you enjoy it. It's $0. But also, I want to show a little bit of appreciation to all the members. Usually for the VIP members and above, my sample packs are available. The latest sample pack is available. So if you would like to become a member at any tier, that's what's different about this. There's just a quick 10 free exclusive samples post that I posted on the community tab over on my channel. So if you go to my main channel page and you click community and you're a member at any tier, you can just click join the community. It's literally a $2 tier if you become a member. Click that button and you can get instant access to 10 free exclusive samples that I won't release anywhere else. Some of them come from that porta capture video that I did. A couple one-shots, couple loops, drone. There's a drone in there. But yeah, go take advantage of that if you can. If you're a member or if you're not a member yet, consider joining, because if you join today, you can submit music for the track review stream on Saturday as well. More news. Our friend Doll Trick, friend of the show, on the Ableton YouTube channel, folks. Round of applause for that. Check that out. One thing, talking about evolving melodies. We're not going to watch it here because I want you to go run it up. Run up the numbers. Give it a like. Leave a comment and say how much you like it. Make this the most successful one thing that Ableton has posted. You know how they post those little tips? These are all cool tips, by the way, because they're very short, tangible, good tips to have. So go run that up. Doll Trick over on Ableton's YouTube channel. That was very exciting to see. Oh, people taking advantage of the free samples. Fantastic. Yes, go watch. Claire's awesome. It's like she's chopping up some vocal samples in this. Like I said, I don't want to give it all away here, but yes, please go watch. Okay, anyway, I think what we're going to do now is start getting into the calls and talk about haters. I did post on my Instagram story yesterday asking, how do you deal with haters? And I got a lot of responses. Many people, there was a couple categories of people. Some people want to clap back. And then some people say, ignore it. And then some people say, yeah, those are the two basic things. So I think I want to run a poll actually in chat right now. How do you deal with haters? This is going to be right in chat, and it's going to be either clap back. So clap back meaning come back at them, which is what I do sometimes, but not all the time, or ignore. Let's ask the community that question. So poll is up, I think. I don't know. I've never done that myself. Did I do it? I did it. It should be there. It should be showing up any second now. Please vote in the poll. I would love to see what you all think. We'll leave that running. The chat is broken, I think. Give them a hug, says nothing pretty about a synth. Maybe. Falguna is here. Hello, Falguna. Hello, Skate Alex. Some people showing up that I didn't see at the beginning. Drummy Geo. Hello. We're going to get into the calls now. I've delayed you all enough. Wow, 71% with ignore. Oh, wow. It gets tough. Chris says, I like your nails. Thank you. Actually, that is one of the points of contention for a lot of haters. Oh, let me talk about like what inspired this, and then we'll get into the calls because this leads directly to our first caller. So the reason this is a very professional operation, as you know, where I come up with the idea for what we're going to talk about on TAETRO Talks, maybe like 1 or 2 days before. And sometimes people provoke ideas out of me, and it leads to like a stream idea. So my artist friend at Crazy Little Asian on both Instagram and Twitter, after I posted this, made the suggestion to do a segment about this. So that's why we're doing this today. So I tweeted about how you can just hide people on YouTube comments. Like instead of deleting or instead of blocking, there's an option to hide user from this channel. And that works in chat too. So I could literally hide anybody. Like, let's see, who should we hide? Who should we hide? Let's hide Bishop 91. No, just kidding. You can hide them. And when you hide them, they can still type. So they're not blocked from typing. It's just like literally nobody can see what they type. So I think that that's really funny. So when people type annoying things, I just hide them. Oh, there we go. They're going back to Jersey mics. That's perfect. So this person says, I'll subscribe if you take those ridiculous rings off. This is a very common thing. I think people think that I want them, that I need them to subscribe, which it is fantastic when people subscribe. I love when people subscribe. Thank you all for subscribing. However, it gives me no money. It doesn't like give me anything other than like that number, and that does ultimately help down the road. But I'm not going to do anything that is not myself or like I don't owe you anything. Like I don't owe somebody to meet their demands of like taking my rings off or taking off the nail polish or whatever. So yeah, so my response is please never subscribe. Actually, you're not permanently hidden here. So what I like about that is when I reply, they get the notification that I replied and they still see it, and they still can't, like if they comment back, I'll never see it. Nobody will ever see it, etc. So that's really fun. And then my friend, Crazy Little Asian, commented, said, do you think you can do a segment on this? And of course, 2 days ago, I was like, yeah, I need an idea. So let's do it. So we're going to bring Crazy Little Asian on for the first time. But Liar Music in the chat says, hey, I only clap back if it's misogyny because it affects more than just me. Otherwise, I ignore because I know it's not true. That is good. And there are so many different dynamics to this. Obviously, I think as a white cisgender male on the internet, even though I do have haters and receive criticism, I have it much, much easier than many other people on the internet who are part of marginalized groups, of which I am not really a part of. So if you have a perspective and you are someone who is not looking like me and have different experiences than me, I would love to hear from you as well. So we're going to get into the calls. We're bringing on Crazy Little Asian first and foremost, of course. Quick little intro. I'll show you her IG. Go give a follow if you can. I'm going to ask some questions about singing, dancing, DJing, and roller skating because that's really exciting. And there's also like a affinity for pigeons. So we're going to find out about that as well as talk about haters and stuff. But thank you, Liar Music, for being in the chat. They say not to give in to the hate. Don't feed it, says Danny Phantom. You're right. That's the way of the Sith. All right, let's get Shah in here. I think I can get this all set up right. By the way, if you want to call into the show, this is our first call of the day, so please make sure you click that Zoom link. If you are watching live, fantastic. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a like. If you are watching later, please leave a like, but also comment and let me know that you are watching later. I'm trying to get Shah on the call, and it's connecting, so we'll just be patient as it connects. And I'll chat with you all. Amelia S. is in chat. Thank you for being here, Amelia. I have been well. Thank you for saying that. I hope you've been well as well. 77 Social says, haters are looking for attention, so I would ignore. Of course, easy for me to say. I have no haters because I have no audience. We all start somewhere. As your audience grows, you'll see more and more haters. And there's also, I'll just point out the difference. A hater is not necessarily somebody that criticizes you. we should all be able to take criticism. A hater is somebody that's doing it to kind of cause you pain, I think. Is that Shaw on the line? Let's see. Oh, we're still connecting to audio. Very close. We're very close. Hi, Superman. Yeah, I'm glad you could join us live again. Hello, Gary. Thank you for joining us as well. But yeah, just tap into that a little more. Criticism versus haters. A hater is somebody who just comes and like says things that are like, you can tell, charged with emotion, meant to hurt the person on the receiving end's feelings, meant to put them down for one reason or another. Like that's the intention. Criticism, I'll never clap back or be rude to somebody who comes to my channel, comments, posts, or whatever, and says, you know, I just don't like this track. This track's not for me. Not a fan of this track. That's fine. If they come and say, you're the worst producer ever, you're ugly, you're stupid, your music is terrible, you should give up, that's a totally different thing. Oh, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. What's up?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm going to hide my self view. I'm going to bring you on the screen.
No, it's much better if you're on screen.
We'll both be on screen.
Yay!
All right.
Hello.
What is good? At Crazy Little Asian, everybody, on both Instagram and Twitter, right?
On Twitter, it's Sosha. It's a long story.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for inspiring today's topic.
Yeah, I've been wanting to ask you that question because you're pretty bold-faced in a good way, you know?
I try.
Like, yeah, and it's something that I've wanted to ask you, but I was like, should I? And then I just, when I saw your post, I'm like, how do you deal with these MFs?
Yes.
You know?
Well, it's hard. And I think sometimes, I think when I'm like doing the most clapping back, like, I don't know if that's necessarily healthy. So I think that the thing about today's show is like, I don't have the answers. That's for sure. Like, I don't know. So that's why I'm happy to talk to somebody like you, and you can maybe talk about like maybe your experiences with haters and, like how you deal with it and how it's affected you. I would love to hear that. But before we talk about that main subject, can you just tell people a little bit about who you are and what you do? I gave a little brief intro about how you're like roller skating and DJing and you like pigeons. I would love to hear all about it.
Well, I love pigeons. They just feel like they're just doing their thing. They're misunderstood and they're everywhere. You go anywhere, New York, you go to London, you go to Paris, they're everywhere. And they're like kind of, I have anxiety, so they bring me back down to earth, literally, and they're like a point of reference that just takes me out of my, that thinking of the loops. That's why I love them, and they're just amazing creatures if you know more about them. But
shout out to the pigeons.
Give love to the pigeons. I'm from the Philippines, Manila. I moved to London in 2017, back and forth with the visas, and I just graduated last week.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. Songwriting. Got first honors.
Oh, big applause in the chat for that.
Yeah. Been here 4 years. You know how much music I've released? None.
Oh.
That's why it's a burning question for me, because I'm a pretty confident person, I think. I'm not that shy. But for some reason, I don't know if it's a bad experience that I had when I was much, much younger that kind of stuck with me or something else. But other than what I have achieved, even though I am afraid, I DJ here in central London and I sing and dance on my roller skates.
Amazing. Who else does that? I can't name a single other artist.
Yeah, and that was more of a clap back. So that was my way of clapping back, because I'm not going to mention who, but in Manila, they said, I don't get what you're doing. Why can't you just DJ? Why do you need to sing? It's weird. It's not good. And I took that as criticism to improving my methods on meshing the sound together.
Totally.
But I stopped for 6 years.
Oh, because of that feedback that you got? That was like, why don't you just DJ?
I did, but it was subconscious, you see. It wasn't like, oh, because someone said something horrible to me, I'm just going to stop doing it. No, I'm now looking back, because we're having this conversation. I was counting, when did I have that comment? And when did I start doing it again? 6 years.
Wow.
So it was very subliminal. And it wasn't even something that I was very, very aware of. So when I got to London, I was far away from the people who I thought were my friends who made comments like that. And they said,
Mm-hmm.
well, if all else fails, you're funny, you can be a comedian. So things like comments are compliments, but really backhanded. So in London, I was like, look, I can be anything because
Sure.
nobody really knows who I am.
Yeah.
And I was part of the world champion team for ice skating
Wow.
for the Philippines, yeah. And I was like, but I can't ice skate while I'm DJing. It was like just an idea. I want to sing and ice skate. I said, well, I can roller skate. So one day I brought my skates to the club. And I
That's
was like,
amazing. That's
what if I
bold.
wear it? I know, I wore it and went out of the booth and went skating around the club and danced and sang and went back to the booth to mix in the next song. They were
Mm-hmm.
like, half the people were like, why? And half the people were like, what the hell just
But they won't
happened?
forget it, regardless of their reaction.
No.
They won't forget it. But you're talking about, I think this is a good point to bring up. You're talking about you want to just do something different. And I don't think like necessarily that singing and DJing is all that different. There's probably other artists that do that, but it is slightly out of it's probably out of a lot of DJs' comfort zones, and it's probably different than what people are used to seeing. Add roller skating on top of that, it's extremely different and like extremely new. And I think, but
Yeah.
that's the magic of being an artist, like trying to do something original. And I think without a doubt, when you're trying to do something new that not many people do or nobody does, people are going to react that way and be like, "Why? What are you doing?"
Yeah, and I think people feel very uncomfortable when you're doing something quite out there and you seem quite comfortable or confident with it because
True.
they look at you like, who are you to be comfortable and confident in yourself? I'm uncomfortable and I'm insecure, but this is not conscious, you see. They just project it on you because they have something that they wish maybe they could express. Maybe not the exact bedroom producer extraordinaire artist like you, but maybe they want to do some craft work. Maybe they want to, do something that they can't. They
They
are
feel
feel
like they can't do. They feel like they don't have a place
exactly,
in. Yeah.
and you're doing it, and you seem happy. Who are you to be happy? Well, I'm unhappy, but
Right.
not consciously. I think, of course, but it's a subliminal. It's easier to hate on other people who are seemingly doing something beautiful, creative, and just an expression, I think. But
Yeah.
still, I haven't released any music, man. What?
It's time to change that for sure, for sure.
Oh,
I think
yeah, but
everything you said, yes, I think we could just end the stream there, and like that's a perfect explanation. Like it is really like this projection of others
hmm,
onto you. Like they see you doing something that they wish they could do, or they see you doing something at a level and they wish they could do something at that level, so they
mm,
lash out. And I think ultimately like independent artists, like small artists, like you or me, like we take it
you're
a
not that
little,
small. But yes, carry on.
well, in the grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah.
We consider like that there are big celebrities on TV and things
Mm,
like that, big artists. You think like a Justin Bieber or something like that. Those people probably aren't gonna leave comments on like Justin Bieber's like music video, or they're not gonna like say anything when Justin Bieber comes on TV or some huge mega star, right? Because they have the
mm,
context, like, oh, that's a celebrity. They're out there doing it. Like that's
right.
what they're supposed to be. But now we live in this age where it's like the both of us can post our stuff on social media and be confident and put out our work and like almost like be vulnerable with our work, express
Yeah.
ourselves, and we're much closer to like the common folk, the regular people, than something like a big celebrity. So
Right.
I
I
think
get what you
people
mean.
people think like they can access us, so like there's we don't have that context of celebrity to like say, yeah, go do the crazy thing or go do the whatever, like
That's so perfect. That's
yeah.
absolutely right. Yeah.
But
I
I
love
think
that.
people have to get over that more and more and more, because now with social media and with the way things are going, like you can be an independent artist and have a small community and do your thing and be independent and and like be cool. So like I think the paradigm of like what is an artist is shifting, or what are small artists capable of, that's definitely shifting, and the way people perceive
Right.
that has to shift as well.
I think there's also some shame because I was told, well, if you love what you're doing so much, you wouldn't care what they're saying. So there's an
Right.
added layer of shame on top of what you're already feeling, which is the judgment
Hmm.
of okay, now I fear judgment. Now I feel ashamed that I'm afraid of judgment. There's like a layer on, it's like a circular thing. And I thought, no, I love what I do. But I think, like, for example, just you starting this conversation, that someone like you, even with the confidence that you do have, that it is challenging for you sometimes, that you're not impenetrable, you're human. And I think you being open about that helps, because it almost seems like, oh, but he can handle it, but he's confident and then I'm not. And there's that divide, and maybe it's divided into people who just who can do it and who can't.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
No, I just think like people have to be objective about like, is this person giving me like valid criticism, or is this person like trying to hurt me? And if like they fall into the like trying to like hurt me category, I don't take what they say with any like it like maybe gives me like a little bit of a adrenaline or a little bit of like a chemical reaction in my body at first that still kind of hurts, but like I can also in my brain put it in the place of like, that I'm not going to let that affect me, because they're not actually trying to provide me with any value. They're like actually just trying to like be mean or rude or like actually hurt me. So like that's easy. You have to put that in a box in your brain and just put it there and not let it eat away at you, and either move on or say it. I don't think saying something back, even though I do it a lot, saying something back doesn't always bring a fruitful conversation. In fact, it never does. They always have something else to say, and it just spirals.
Right.
And you don't want to spend your time doing that. Occasionally on live, I'll do like a rant, because like I want people to see that interaction and see me work through it, kind of like what you were saying. And I think that's helpful. And occasionally in comments, I'll clap back, but then I try not to do that as much. But the number one thing recently, I have the YouTube Studio app, which is like how you get comments and stuff, like how you can see comments and analytics. I took that off my phone because like I was just checking it like too often. And I get hate comments like probably every day. I mean, I get 99% positive comments and 1% hate comments, and still the 1% hate comments will stick out in your brain more. But I took that app off my phone, so I'm not constantly checking the app.
Right.
So now when I see my comments or the feedback on my channel, I see it as a big group. So I see that it's 99% positive and 1% negative. I don't see the negative comment as it comes in. And in that moment, that's the only comment that I'm like thinking about. So that's like some things that I've been doing. I wonder like, how do you think we should approach like haters like this?
Do you remember the first hate comment you've ever gotten, or was it something that you don't really remember anymore? Because I remember mine. When I was 13.
Oh, when you were 13. Wow. Tell me about it.
I was obsessed with Harry Potter. I was obsessed with Harry Potter, and I've been vlogging since I don't know how long for, and I would post these on YouTube. And I remember finally being able to post something of me singing this song. And can I say the word?
Yes.
I'm not gonna. Okay. So the comment was like, yeah, nice voice, but look at her tits. So sorry. And I was 13, I was so young, and I barely had any, so, and you would think like, oh, but that's just one nasty person. It's fine. But I stopped again. Now looking back, I stopped doing it. I hid that video and I stopped posting. So I stopped YouTubing at a very, very early age. I don't know. I think what your community is saying in terms of not fueling it, that's a Zen approach, isn't it? But I feel like there are healthier ways to approach it. I feel like if you do start a dialogue, sometimes if you are kind to them, I've tried it once, and they're ashamed,
Sure.
Because it's like, oh, now you're a person. You're not just this cool guy making cool beats. You're this actual human being, and they get ashamed of their. But of course, that involves emotional labor on your part.
Exactly.
Right, and you don't have that energy.
You don't owe it to them, certainly.
Exactly, but I think it depends on your mental health, where you're at, your time. It varies. There's no, like you said, the answers kind of change, and we don't really have the answers. We just figure it out as we go along. But for me, I don't know. My response was flight. I just stopped posting. I haven't uploaded any songs. I think me even sending you my song, I was sweating buckets. My friends were messaging me like video coverage of you in the Philippines, like, hey, it's so cool. I was like, I can't watch it. Like I was mortified. Like
That's
I did it.
crazy.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think it really affected me. And now I'm in therapy, like I told you, and I
Well,
have to talk
everybody
about it.
should be, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I think, but this is what I think though. One thing that I really believe, I feel like it's so easy to demonize other people, whether it's us being the recipient of that negative energy, or other people because they're behaving horribly.
Yeah.
Fine, but everyone's already dividing us. The illnesses, the people on top, the powerful people, they're already doing it. And it is difficult, but moving forward, since because we have all these connectivity, like what you're saying, you have this community and you're influencing these people. Yes, maybe it's not like Justin Bieber levels, but you're able to connect with your audience so much more intimately, and that's priceless. And that's where we can make changes, I
Right.
think. And I think that's the way forward. I know it's so cheesy, like Harry Potter, but it's like I think more love, isn't it?
Right. We all have the
Yeah.
opportunity to build like small communities of positivity, and like I always say, like more artists, better world. Like as long as if we're all creating something, it gives us a voice, it gives us a connection to other people, and then that ultimately, like you talked about, opens up room for a dialogue where we can start having these conversations, and we can just guide the conversations in positive directions instead of like, some of these small communities and actually large communities like trend towards hate and bringing others down. But we don't have to do that, and we're artists, so I think there's something inherently true about artists that we want to promote positivity and make the world a better place. Like we are inherently trying to make the world more beautiful with sound, with visual art, with whatever. So like we have that opportunity and we should all take it no matter what size our audience is and no matter like how big our work, how much attention our work gets, I guess.
No, definitely. I think the stupidest, the loudest. That's what I think.
Sure.
And it's incumbent upon you. You've been given this gift, and this is me talking to a mirror. And also, like we've been given gifts, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be music. It could be, you would know what it is. And I think we have a bit of responsibility to share that. It doesn't have to be on social media, even it could be another way, because other people need to hear what you have to say. Like what you're telling me, I need to hear it. Like
Right.
I literally am seeking for support. Not support like monetary support. I'm talking about community and other people. Oh, I feel the same way too. And
Hearing other people say the ideas is like, and just because I'm the one like with the show or whatever, like I'm the one who like people consume the content of, like I am seeking this out from other artists all the time too. Like I'm consuming constantly things that make sure I'm in a good place mentally as an artist. Like it's not like I have this all figured out and I'm like super confident, like I am open to opening up the conversation, promoting what I think are good ideas to the community and like that sort of thing. So like I don't want to project like I go through it too. Like that's the thing. Like we all go through it no matter what level, I think.
yeah, and what you have to say, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what I always try to, it as long as you're coming from a good place, the people who are following you or are interested in you will understand that you're coming from a good place. And just, yeah, I think we really need to get it out there, whatever it is, your thoughts, ideas, your art.
Absolutely. Well, you should be saying that to yourself because you
You
haven't
know
released. Yeah, exactly. Um,
but yeah,
well, I hope.
thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show and having this conversation. Actually, just sparking this conversation. Thank you for like setting it off and like having us have this conversation today. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you coming on the show. Can you tell people where they can find you, because we know you're going to be releasing music and content like really, really soon. Now that you're super motivated and you've had this conversation.
My chest started. Yeah, well, actually, I didn't even get to mention, this is another thing I need to practice. Like I love mixing trance and trap music
Nice.
together. And you can find me. Oh, isn't my TikTok voice coming out? Actually, you can find me. You can find me on Instagram. It's Crazy Little Asian. Not a slur. It's really my actual name on Instagram.
Love it.
And on Twitter, it's so____Sha. Yeah, and then on Facebook it's Crazy Little Asian as well. But my music will be under So Sha, which is just my name. So
So
yeah,
Sha.
So Sha, So Nick, So TAETRO.
Please give
There you
Sosha a
go.
follow at all those pages. We would not be having this conversation today without her. Thank you. I hope we can continue this conversation in the future. And if you want to come on the show in the future and want to talk about more stuff, or once you start putting stuff out, if we can get your music on the stream and all that, please let me know.
Oh God, I like to pitter patter. But thank you so much. You're doing an amazing job, honestly, and you're so consistent. I know you need to go, but I just want to commend you because what you do is really vital to the life force. I know you're thinking, but it's you have this community, and it's not just a positive force. It's a genuine kind of you're coming from a genuine place, and that's so much needed
I
in
appreciate
the
that.
industry today. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Bye.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. That was Sosha. Thank you for joining us on the show. I have a couple more people in the waiting room. I think we can get to a few more calls. So if you do want to jump into the calls, it will just be audio. I only bring people on video if I kind of know them or anything. So that's less pressure for you. Don't worry about being on video. Just call in via audio. I know a lot of you are enjoying this conversation. I would love to hear what you are taking from it. Can we discuss the poll a little? Yes, we can. I can't see the poll on my oh yeah, I see it here. 81% saying ignore. I wish I could see this whole poll, but I can't because there's a pinned comment. Anyway, jump in the waiting room right now if you want to get in on a call today, because we're coming up to the top of the hour and I want to get to as many calls as possible. But if you're not in now, there's a chance we might not get to you. So yeah, 81%. And if you haven't voted yet, go ahead and actually, I'm just going to end the poll now. 81% said ignore. Well, that made the poll go away. I need to look at live chat. All right. There are about 108 votes, which is great. And 81% said ignore. So I think that's actually a pretty positive response. I think that shows that this community does not react out of emotion, that this community is kind of more about moving on and spreading positivity. So I am surprised by that response. And like I was saying before in that conversation with Shah, by the way, I'm just going to put her page on the screen one more time to make sure you all can go at it. Crazy Little Asian on Instagram. If you just add somebody on Instagram, you can find all their other links, but she's got lots of cool content. Like if you want to see somebody roller skating and DJing at the same time, please go check it out. What I was going to say is I feel like when I'm responding to haters, I am not at my best self. I feel like it's not promoting positivity. I think there are ways to approach it, like Shah was saying, approaching it in a way where you humanize yourself and you ask them a question or you meet them with some kind of empathy. But I also don't think that I owe that to them. So occasionally when I'm my best self, I'll approach it with empathy. When I'm not feeling any type of way, I ignore. And when I'm not being my best self, I'm clapping back. And Perlemming just said, it's about energy. Focus on your energy, on positive things. Clapping back can maybe move your energy to something more negative. For me, ignoring is just brushing them off and moving on. Yeah. There are some times in YouTube comments, especially where haters are not just haters. They're not just trying to hurt you, but they're also promoting false ideas or just false information, whether it's on a tutorial or something. They're trying to say, they're simultaneously being a hater, being rude, and also promoting false information. And those are the times that especially get to me because I want to correct the record, because of course many of us go to the YouTube comments and check for more information in addition to the video. And I wouldn't want somebody to come across a comment and say, oh, well, this person said this, so it must be true, because it's not. And I think that also falls into the category of what Liar was saying. And it was a little bit of what Sosha was saying with misogyny. Whether it's misogyny, racism, any type of marginalization at all, you're inevitably spreading in that category. You're inevitably spreading false information about a group of people, or just like, bad energy. And I think the record needs to be corrected. And I think sometimes it's important for artists like us to stand up and say that is not okay, and to be vocal about it being not okay. So those are some situations where I might clap back if somebody's perpetuating some false information, or if I need to make sure that my stance on something is known, and make sure that something is known, that it is not acceptable in this community. So that might be an excuse for not hiding somebody's comment, somebody's hate comment, just for the purpose of other people being able to see my reply to it, because it is what it is. And Soshal was right. It is often a projection of oneself. Oh, you're doing that. You seem happy and confident. How dare you be happy and confident? I'm not even happy and confident. And the flip side of this coin is, how often are we ourselves haters? How often are we on the other side? Whether it is towards a celebrity or towards somebody that can actually hear us. I see this a lot in young people, a lot of criticism towards, celebrities. I just spend so little of my time on criticizing other people, or I try to. And I find that when I look at somebody and my immediate instinct is criticism, it says more about myself than it does about the person. It's reflecting something in me for sure. Not that I can't give criticism, but I try to be very objective with myself when those things are happening. And we can all do that. We're all not going to be perfect, peaceful, Gandhi-esque humans, but we're going to do our best. And I saw Joseph say, I remember the IRL hate in high school, because when Sosha asked that question, do you remember your first hater? I think immediately when you start putting art out into the world, no matter what it is, you're going to get haters. No matter what. No matter if you make the best art in the world. Go to your favorite artist's YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever, and just skim the comments. You will find at least one hate comment, and they're your favorite artist. So what's up, Av? What's up, Extreme? Thank you, Michael G, for tuning in. Hi, Scary Prank Hunter. Thank you for being here. Sonic says, important conversation to have for all creatives. Haters, critics, negative Nellies, just need to get a hobby. Yeah, you're right. There's a place for criticism in the community, but it has to be the right place. Like, for instance, on Saturday, we'll be doing a track review stream. I don't give overwhelmingly positive feedback. I always try to find some room for improvement, but the purpose of that stream is to give criticism. Now, if somebody just posts their work, they're not always looking for criticism, especially not from a random person on the internet. So also think about that. Like, why are you posting criticism to somebody's work? Did they ask you to post criticism for their work? Are you qualified to post criticism to their work? Can you just keep it to yourself? Because I think a lot of people give unwanted advice, and we have to be aware of that. And I know that women, especially in the music industry, are a victim to that. Where oftentimes men will comment on a woman's post or track or whatever and try to offer some type of advice when they're not looking for it. Crazy Little Asian is in the chat. I think community is so important, because if an artist feels supported, they'd be more likely to keep going and share. Yes. Well, Crazy Little Asian, you are part of this community, as is everybody who is in chat, as is everybody who's here, So you have the community has your back, and we have to have each other's back as artists, We're all at different places in our journey. I want to take some more calls. Some people have been waiting. I have White in the waiting room. I'm going to bring White on, and we're going to chat, and I want to hear what you all have to say. I have a few other people in the waiting room as well. If you want to get in, now would be the time to click that link at the top. Make sure you leave a like on the stream if you are enjoying it. Tell a friend about this show. Tell a friend about this channel. And don't forget that we do this call-in show regularly on Tuesdays. We're also going to be making beats on Thursday on the stream. White, you can go ahead and unmute, and let's bring you on the show. Thank you for waiting in the waiting room. Hello, White. How are you? Oh, it seems like you are kind of connected to audio, but just make sure your right audio input device is selected, because And that's in the bottom left-hand corner near the microphone icon, little up arrow. Check the select microphone. There we go.
Okay.
You did it.
So I'm very nervous because that's my first time on air.
Well, I
First of all,
appreciate
I'd
you.
like
Let
to
me
say-
say first, I very much appreciate
Okay.
you for calling in. Don't be nervous. I'm excited to have you on, and I'm so happy that you called in.
Okay. So, TAETRO, first of all, I would say sorry for my bad English because that's not my first language that I learned. I'm from Russia.
No worries. I can understand you super clearly.
Okay, thank you. I would say on haters, I would, in my humble opinion, I would just ignore them because if you clap back, you'll just have some negativity in you that will grow and grow and grow if you continue to clap back, and then you'll just become one.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you're right, and I also feel that when I'm participating in that, and most of the chat agrees with you. So I'm super excited to hear that, and to I know you all come to this channel. Some people come to this channel to learn and to whatever, but like I'm also learning and experiencing things. Like to see that poll go to 81% ignore, and to hear you say it, to say ignore, that really has an effect on me.
I joined your channel only because I wanted to learn. I just started writing lo-fi music and some chill hop beats. I found your channel and I fell in love in first sight.
Thank
you. You describe everything clearly. I can understand it. I like your music theory playlist. All clear.
I appreciate that.
So what would I say about haters? I think I will agree with the person in chat. I don't know their nickname, that they said that they needed a hobby. They are just jealous of things that they don't have. So if you can, or just started writing music or something else, doing something else like pottery, etc., they can do that. They can't do that, and they're just jealous.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right. Like it's about how we spend our time, right? Like I don't want to devote any time to going to somebody's comment and going to somebody's content and leaving something negative. I actually don't have time for that. I don't make time for that. And we can make time for anything. So if you're making time to spread negativity, that for sure says something about you. How can you fill that time otherwise, whether it's with a hobby or whether with entertainment, something you enjoy? I think you're totally right. My friend, I thank you so much for joining the channel and becoming a member, and I'm glad you're loving the music theory series. I want to hear from you again soon. I got some other calls that I have to take. I want to get in before the top of the hour. So I'm going to move on to the next one, but thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate your first call.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Thank you. We love first-time callers and we love channel members. We love everybody around here. If you do want to become a channel member, though, you can get access to, if you become a VIP member right now, you will get the Ritual sample pack. You can download that for free. You will get a free little 10 sample pack that's on the community tab. You can get that by becoming a member at any level. And if you are not able to become a member, but you just want 25 free loops, you can go to TAETRO.com and click the sample packs button. And there's like a free little kit there. I saw Diana Fernandez join the chat. Hello, I am well. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to get Harsha in here, who we've heard from before, I believe. All right, we had White calling in from Russia. Hello, Harsha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Thank you for calling in again. I would love to know what you think about this hater subject.
Yeah. So I think that if you put any kind of art or anything for that matter out to the world, you having haters are going to be something that's inevitable.
Exactly.
It does have a bad effect on people, but at the same time, most of the times, I'm saying most, the criticism that they give should be considered, because you don't want haters, right? You want people to respect you at the same time.
Sure.
So most of the time you should take in what they're trying to convey. But if they're, just upright jealous and, they just don't like you and they just want to cause you pain, yeah, of course you should ignore that. But there are some haters who are like, who have knowledge about what they're speaking, and they just want you to know that where you went wrong.
Yes. Well, I think that is the difference between criticism and hate, right? Like if somebody is offering some critical feedback or something, there might be some truth to that. And also somebody can be a rude hater and also be saying something valid about your work.
Yeah,
like both can
exactly.
be true, and that's unfortunate. But yeah, it is a fine line to walk. I think how I deal with that is if I see I basically pay no mind to haters. Like I'm not going to let that affect my work. However, if I see a similar sentiment, it could be something as easy as like if like the audio was too low in my video, like, oh, the music's too loud, the vocals are or the voice is too low. Like if a bunch of people say that, I know I have to take that criticism and improve it, and that's like a really, really basic example. But people could say that in a number of different ways. Somebody like you could come to my comment section and be like, hey, TAETRO, just wanted to let you know it was kind of hard to hear your voice and the music was a little bit too loud, but love the video. That's great. But people could say the same thing as like, why are you even making YouTube videos? This sucks. I can't even hear your voice.
Exactly.
Like it's terrible.
That's the difference. They write a fine line between criticism and hate.
Right. It's the same feedback presented in different ways. And I think sometimes people present things more harshly than they want to. So we should all be more mindful about how we communicate things. But you are right that sometimes people present actual criticism and feedback in not so great ways. And we should at least pay a little bit of attention to all the feedback that's coming in and decide deliberately which feedback we're going to take to make improvements.
And also on clapping back, I think there is a point until, where you should not clap back. Like you should ignore. That is like completely right on one person's side to ignore all the hate. Totally. But there is also a breaking point to clap back.
Yeah. And for me, that I wonder what your thoughts are on what is the breaking point.
So I have a story to tell in that case. So 2 years ago, 2019, like the new year. So December 31st. And on 1st in our community, we have a performance.
Nice.
So me and my friends, we just gathered together 2 weeks before and we start practicing. So we did that and, it came out like very well and everything. And on the day that we were supposed to perform, one of my bandmates' mother realized that we lost one extension cord. So we were not able to connect a keyboard. And out of nowhere, she was just like, you guys are useless performing in this event. And I was the main singer in that band. So as the person who's, giving that entertainment to the crowd, it hit me like very hard. And that thing has been on my mind ever since. And actually this year we have that performance again. And this time I'm going alone. I'm not doing a band because of COVID, we all got separated.
Sure. And
some of them shifted. But I want to prove to her, but not in a rude way. I just want to show her that what she said is not true.
Yeah.
That, without she's not heard what we did. She doesn't know what's going on. She can't judge. So I think when someone says something without any context and they just hate you for that, that is when you should clap back. Not in a, the way that you said that, it can become a negative and a very addicting thing.
But in a prove them wrong kind of way.
Yeah. Just to show them that, whatever you say is not true. And from next time when you do judge a person, have context, like have something to support what you say.
Totally. Harsha, thank you so much for calling in today. I hope to hear from you on a future call-in show. I really appreciate you sharing that story.
And if this is the last TAETRO Talks, Happy New Year.
Oh, yes. I think we'll have one more. I don't know for sure, though. But if we don't talk between now and New Year, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Okay.
Have a good one,
Cheers.
my friend. Cheers.
Bye.
I love that, like going into the matrix. That always happens on Zoom. MIDI keyboard warrior, says Yarden. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, these are all great points. I want to keep the calls coming in. I'll just remember, like, you all probably remember this too. I have one beat making video where the keyboard is like being hit by like direct sunlight. And like so many people on that video, it got to be a really popular video, which brought a bigger audience, but brought more of these like haters that just kept saying the video was fake. And that definitely really got to me. I know that it's not fake, and I also made a follow-up video to demonstrate like why they were wrong. But the thing that gets to me most is when people are wrong. People are confidently wrong. I think hubris is like a huge thing for me. I do not. That just triggers me. Like when somebody is confidently wrong. I don't know. It just gets to me. I've got another call from Khawaja. I think I'm saying it right. Or Ahmed. Haters, says Sunny G. Yes. Jillian, people can't understand how cameras and lighting works. LMAO. Yeah.
Hi there.
Hello. Should I call you Ahmed or should I call you Khawaja?
You can call me Momin. That's
Momin.
just my first name. Yeah,
Got you.
Momin, yeah.
How are you today?
Hi there, man. I'm doing great. Just wanted to come on and talk about hate between like music producers.
Yeah, let's
and
hear
like,
about it.
Kind of like musical empiricism, if you know what I mean. Like the idea that, you know, some people make more complicated music than others.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's get into
Or
it.
like, you know, and
Or
I
like,
just think
or
it's
that
kind of-
more complicated music is somehow superior to simpler music, right?
Precisely. Because personally, I make obviously like rap music and R&B music, and while it's great and stuff like that, and it's a lot of fun, I have quite a few friends in the music industry because I'm based in London, and fortunately I have a lot of connections around this town. To, you know, people who are in like the rock sphere and people who are like into classical, into jazz, into all these different things. And for me, like when I talk to these people, sometimes I feel like there's a level of pedantic behavior, if you understand what I mean.
Sure.
In the sense that you know, people look down upon you for not having the most complex notes or not having the maddest chord arrangements, and you know, it can be pretty tiring. I think that for me is more actually frustrating than getting hate from people who don't produce music, because it's more difficult when it's your peers.
I agree, and this is something I experienced a lot in like studying music in college. That's all like many music departments are these people, these students that are constantly trying to one up each other and like do the most technical thing regardless of the musicality. And a sad part about that is that oftentimes teachers or professors encourage that, and professors, they actually praise technical ability over musicality. And I think that I never understood that, and that's always actually driven me to be a more and more independent like artist and work on my own, because I trust myself and I trust my ideas, and I like making simple music. And I find that it's very, very prevalent in that community for people to just make stuff that's just technically impressive, but maybe musically not so. And there's a way to do both. Absolutely.
100%.
And especially in music production community, like you can do something that's technically interesting, like within the DAW, within the computer. It doesn't have to just be about playing technique. And I love all that, but it's not what it's about for me. You know, like I want to make something that people can musically connect with.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like it's a give and take, because I feel like they have somewhat of a point when they say that, you know, people they may want to push people to try and be more I don't know, musically more astute and try and take more risks, but I do feel like you said yourself, it doesn't need to be pedantic, and it doesn't need to come from a place of down talk or down speak. And not only that, I feel like it may come from some frustration and the fact that popular music today is more based in more simpler structures, and that they may have an inherent frustration for the fact that maybe genres such as jazz, or how, you know, heavy metal was popping back in the 1980s and 1990s, isn't at the forefront of music anymore. And for that reason, I understand their grievances, but I feel like as producers, we all need to come together and try to find a middle ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's also like music is not what it used to be, right? Like the gatekeepers are
100,
pretty
yeah.
much gone. Like you don't need a manager and a label that gets you on MTV to get your music
Yeah.
heard. You can,
Yeah.
we can all find our communities of listeners. So I
course.
think we all just look at, you know, the Billboard charts or like, you know, even something like the Grammys as like,
Yeah.
that's not really
Yeah.
a standard. That just happens to be like what is quote unquote popular in culture. And that's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So like if you are one of those people that's frustrated, like, oh, my music doesn't get whatever, like I
Yeah.
make lo-fi beats. Like I have no expectation that one of my lo-fi beats is gonna chart on the Billboard charts. And like, why would you have that expectation? Same if you're like a jazz musician, like if you, especially like avant-garde, whatever, like whatever you make, like have some like self-awareness to be like, what is the vision for success? Like what is a realistic point of success that I can get making this
Yeah.
style of music? And that's your measure of success. There's no use in like being annoyed or mad or upset that this other
the end of
genre
the
of
day.
music is honored, you know?
Exactly. At the end of the day, we're all out here trying to do the same thing, which is inspire, create, invoke emotions and passions, and try to actually get people more interested into the artistic expression. May that be simple, may that be very complicated. It doesn't have to be Michelangelo. It can also be Picasso, to put it like that.
Exactly. And it can be Keith Haring, and it can be like all these other artists that, you know, people might say are that could be Basquiat. Like people hated Basquiat when he
Yeah, they
started,
did.
and like
And now
it's just always true. Like it's always true. You can look back at any form of art, any media, like Jackson Pollock. Like people look at stuff and say and make a judgment call, but in their time they either get appreciated or they don't. But then you always see these artists that were just hated on, and then unfortunately after they pass or when they're gone or as decades go by, people are like, oh, actually they were like a genius. You know, like it
they
just
were so ahead
happens
of their
that way.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Man, thank you so much for that call. I really
Thank
appreciate
you very much
it.
for having me. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I
Have a
hope-
blessed night or evening, or I'm assuming you're in California or in America somewhere. right?
Yes. So have a
Yes,
good
that's the
rest of
place.
your day, and I hope you
Thank
call
you
into
very
a
much,
future
you too.
show. Have a good one.
Hopefully. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye. Really good call. And you know what I love about that is like all these people that go to music school and like hold themselves to high regard and look down on like pop music or contemporary music. Meanwhile, the pop musicians, the contemporary musicians, the successful musicians are reaching the most people with their music. Like the market has voted, the market has spoken. Not that the music industry is 100% a free market. It is an industry. However, what's the excuse? Oh, your music is just too good. We just don't get it. What are you saying? Yarden, thank you for the 2 months and the membership milestone chat. DAWs are the greatest instruments of the 21st century. Just because someone else feels that their work is more complex doesn't mean it's more effective. That is correct. I 100% agree. If you're a member and you haven't used your member milestone chat this month, you can click the little super chat button at the bottom and you can share a message just like Yarden just did. I would love to see your membership milestone chats. Okay, a couple more calls and then we're going to end the show. I'm going to unpin this comment. I know we're going a little longer than usual, but I hope you all are enjoying the conversation. Let's get Menthan in. I saw Darty in the chat. I forgot to say hello. Hello, Darty. Thank you for being here. If you're still here, I appreciate you. Say my name, Joseph. Say my name, Joseph. Joseph. Hello, Joseph. Oh, and hello, Menthan. How are you?
Yo, it's finally now my turn.
It is. I thank you for your patience in waiting. I know today it's a long show.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I got the notification like TAETRO is streaming on haters, and I was like, wow, this is some topic that I'm really
I'm so glad. What has you interested in it? Tell me what interests you about it.
like. Just like you said the story earlier that you worked on a project very sincerely and you had a lot of time in it, and people are like, dude, this is not even made by you, you have just copied it from somewhere, and that feels like it's like really bad for us. Like it feels really bad.
It does. But we have
Same
to
happened.
constantly do mental work and try to make it not. We have to trust ourselves more than we trust a comment of somebody that's saying something that's false, you know? And sometimes our brains have trouble with that. Did you have a similar experience?
Yes, I did. And it was horrible. And I spent way too much time in it.
Yep.
And the first comment I get is, from where did you get it? And I was like, dude, please,
You also don't
please.
owe people explanations, you know, like you know what you know, and like you don't have to prove yourself to anybody, you know?
Yes, true, true. And something else that not just not specific hate, but parents, my parents specifically, they say that why are you even doing music? Like music is not gonna make you money. Why are you even doing it? Do something that will make you money. Study, get marks. And I'm like, yeah, please. Music is something that I'm interested in, and it's just something that I like.
And it's
Stress
not
buster.
all about money. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, a lot of people are in this very similar situation. I am fortunate to have very supportive family and parents. But yeah, culturally, that's an issue in different places. Just for different families, it's different in different situations. But I think the main theme of what you're saying is you have to be super confident in what you do and how you feel and about who you are to even survive as an artist, just because you're going to get so much pushback from all directions, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much for calling in, my friend. I hope you do it again soon. I really appreciate you bringing that up. And stay strong. Keep moving forward. You want to do music? You want to be a music producer? Like, that's you. It's all up to you. We're kind of on our own in this, but you also have the community. The community has your back as usual.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course. Thank you so much for calling in. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Yo, Bo Shooter is in the house. What is good, Bo Shooter? Yo, Bo Shooter, you can call in. I'll do one. I have one more call, but then this link I'm putting in chat is only for Bo Shooter. If anybody besides Bo Shooter clicks it, you are banned. I'm going to take one call and then I'll leave the waiting room open for Bo. But let's get Dan's in here to chat a little bit more about haters. My light is changing, guys, because I accidentally left the window open. So let me just boost the light. It got like very bright in here for a moment and then it did not. Bo Shooter, if that's you that just joined, just give me a sign. But if that's not you that just joined, instant banned. Dan, make sure you set your audio input device. If you go on the bottom left and click the little arrow next to the microphone, it says select a microphone. You can select the proper microphone. When you do that, I should be able to hear you. Folks, I hope you've been enjoying today's show. We occasionally take clips from these call-in shows and put them in the podcast feed. So if you want to hear more conversations kind of like these, not all about haters, but on different subjects, just look up TAETRO Radio on your favorite podcast platform of choice. I like to use Spotify. If you type in TAETRO Radio, you should find it. Lots of good conversations over on the podcast. And I like this call-in show. You know, it's a little bit different than general music making. It's a little bit different than what some other streamers do, I think. So I like to be unique and different. But nonetheless, we will be making music. You said you're in, Bo Shooter? I disagree. I'll see you when you're there. When you're in the waiting room. Please make more circuit tracks videos. I just recently bought one and it's been a blast. I would love to see more circuit vids from you. It could be a possibility for sure, Yarden. Not a bad idea. I should also say thank you to those member milestone chats. I saw... Wait, I missed one. Oh, Savex, thank you for the 3 months. See, it says member for 3 months, but you put proud 2-month member, so I don't know what to believe, but I'll believe in the 3-month number because it's bigger. Thank you so much. If you want to become a channel member, get that cool icon next to your name, get access to our exclusive Discord community, and download some free samples, you can go click the join button below the video, join at any tier. If you join the community tier, you get free samples and you get Also access to the Discord. If you join at VIP tier, you get the ritual sample pack for free as well. If you join at any tier, you can submit music to this Saturday's feedback stream. Please don't forget, feedback stream. If you want feedback on your music, you want your music played live on stream, become a member. We don't always have time to get to non-members, so that's the only way to assure that you can definitely get in. Boshuda, if that's you in the waiting room, let me know. Type the initials of your Zoom name if that's you in the waiting room in chat. I love my circuit. Mono stations is nothing pretty about Smith. Nice. Hello, Om. Thank you for joining us. Dan's, unfortunately, I got to put you in the waiting room because you did not connect to audio. So we'll get you next time. Don't worry. All right, got you. Let's all prepare for this. We got the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only person that I'm asking to unmute on the Zoom call. You know him, you love him. I can only intro for so long. So here he is, Boshuda. What's good?
Boshuda in the house. Boshuda in the house.
What is good, my friend? How are you?
What's happening, TAETRO? I'm actually not sure what mic I'm coming through on right now. I got a new interface set up.
It sounds pretty good, so it should be fine.
Excellent. Thanks for the
little
feedback.
far away, but I think we're good.
Okay, let's try this. Maybe that's a little bit better.
Yeah.
But yeah, great topic today. You know, I tuned into the morning show here. I was doing a little bit of work this morning. You know, I'm running a day job right now, so I don't have time to pop in the chat as much as I used to. But I got to tell you, man, great topic today.
Thank
really good
you.
Stuff. I love the guest that you had on the video call as well. She was great.
Yeah, so Shaw's great. Like, she's a really creative person, a really great spirit, and she sparked this whole conversation. So I had to have her on.
Yeah, well, you know, in my experience, there's never a shortage of haters, despite what you want to do in your life. And, you know, even if it's just, if you're willing to just paint your fence or do something like that, somebody will tell you that you can't do it, or they'll tell you some criticism, and it really stems from some insecurity on their part. I think what we're dealing with in the music industry these days is a revolution, and you have the right to go ahead and get creative and do songwriting or music production, and it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yep.
And I think that you have to kind of have the courage to move forward in this biz.
I agree, and I think you're totally right about, like, you could do something as mundane as paint your fence and you could get criticism for it. And the fact that we are in this kind of revolution in music where more and more people have access to tools to create music, or access to knowledge to learn how to create music, like, there are more people creating music, and as that accelerates, it just amplifies that criticism and the haters, you know? Like, so painting your fence is one thing, but in the industry that we're in, where things are just exploding, you know, along with that explosion comes an explosion of haters and criticism.
Yeah, I couldn't have put it better myself. And to be quite frank, I mean, it seems like you know, the tough part too is that there's so much there's a lot of music that's out there to compete with and to create and stuff, and that can be quite daunting. I mean,
Totally.
There's artificial intelligence that makes music now too.
Yep.
And they can do it much faster than you might be able to produce. So it's easy to be kind of intimidated by that, and also to take those steps and kind of put yourself out on a social media platform to try to grab the attention of people. You are taking a risk from your family and friends, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's not even just a risk, it's a sure thing, I would say. Like, you're definitely going to get some pushback, criticism, haters, regardless if you're putting yourself out there, especially making stuff, making anything. You're just going to get it, and that's part of it. And you know, we can't necessarily fight that. Like, would it be great to live in a world where that wasn't true? Sure. But that's not the world we live in. So it's not about, like, trying to avoid it and trying to run and hide from it. It's trying to accept it and think about how you're going to deal with it, and how you're going to move forward in spite of it. So I wonder, how do you think we should deal with haters and things like that?
Boy, I don't know. Put me on the spot here.
It's a big question.
I
Well,
would-
we ran a
I would
poll.
say-
I'll tell you
yeah.
this. We ran a poll
All
at the
right.
beginning, and I
What did
said,
the poll say?
do we
Yeah.
clap back at the haters? Like, do we have a slick comeback or something? Or do we ignore? And to my surprise, the community voted 81% ignore.
Interesting, because I know I've seen your video streams, and sometimes you give a little sass back.
Yes.
But I think that's just your personality, and I love it.
And sometimes it's important not just for the one-to-one, like I'm talking to that person about what they said. It's more about that everybody can see my response to what this person said. And hopefully that gives other people some confidence or like some positivity, you know. It's trying to flip it and use the stage as a way to promote like good ideas, you know, like that's sort of my thinking there.
Yeah, totally. I know as a young man, I was very sort of insecure, and I didn't have a lot of comebacks in the chamber ready to go.
Right.
Now that I have a little bit of years behind me, I think I have a little bit more, a little bit more ammunition to shoot back with,
Right.
so to speak, if somebody comes at me with some bull. But I think, I think that when you're trying to create anything artistic, I think it's very important to kind of just, I would say, ignore the haters from the perspective of not that they leave something in your chat, but just sort of the insecurity that you might have about yourself. You have to kind of abandon that.
Yep.
For instance, like I deleted my Facebook one day about 1 or 2 years ago, and I haven't looked back since, because I realized a lot of those people, it was like this old artificial thing. I'm not trying to get in the weeds here, but it's there's some sort of judgment that you feel like people are going to cast on you, either family or friends.
Totally. And
So-
whether it's true or not, or whether it's just like something that's like in your own self, like you're making a positive step for yourself. I also deleted the Facebook app. I do not go on Facebook. My Instagram goes to my Facebook, but I never look at it. And like that was instant positive change. And I talked about at the beginning of the stream, like talked about deleting the YouTube Studio app off my phone. Like that was positive change as well, because checking it is as often as I was is not healthy. And it's just positive change for me. And you're totally right, like about ignoring it, because you said like, we have got more clapbacks now, we can go to war, but it's only a war if we like choose to enter into it, like, and it has to be like a real deliberate good decision or like good reasoning if you're gonna do something as drastic like go to war, right? So like maybe there are occasions for it, but most of the time it's like, what? I don't even know who you are, like I'm just ignoring,
Yeah, maybe 90% of the time ignore it and really kind of pick your battles, because it can really just be an endless feedback loop that you'll get stuck in, and you're better off just making good art.
It's the internet. You'll spend all day doing it if you want to, but you're right. You should. I think that's a perfect way to end the show. Can you just say what you just said one more time about making art, how you spend your time?
Yeah, spend your time making good art, because that's the most productive thing that you can do. And it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of passing through barriers and your own self-doubt. I know I'm riffing here, going off the original script.
Go for it.
I think that you also have to get over your own self-hatred and your own self-judgment if you're going to really make progress. And sometimes the first iterations of the things that you do are going to be pretty bad. So listen to your own voice and show it to people who will give you honest feedback, like people in this community, and they'll maybe give you constructive criticism before you might release something out there. But yeah, spend your time and energy and effort making good art. Don't listen to the haters.
Bo Shuda, everybody. Bo Shuda out. Thank you so much for calling in, man. I'm glad you jumped in and were able to get in on the call today. It's good to hear from you again. I hope all things are going well with your day job.
Oh yeah, man, I've been like on the moon. But I'm so happy to tune into the radio show today. Happy I caught it. It was live. Thanks for tapping me in. Bo Shuda out.
All right. Thanks so much, man. Have a good one. Peace. Bo Shuda out. That's a great final call. All the calls were fantastic today. Shout out again to my friend Sosha for calling in today one more time. We'll put her page on the screen. She's the reason that we're having this conversation today. Just replied to me on Twitter and was like, can you do a segment on haters? I was like, let's do a whole show on haters. If you missed the conversation with Sosha, please go back to the beginning of the stream and watch. Of course, this stream will be available for you all to watch later on. If you did tune in late, please run up the numbers there. Diana Fernandez with a member milestone chat. Thank you for the 9 months, Diana. Diana says, for me, it's all about what you do with that hate. I prefer to use it as a fuel to prove them wrong. In a way, it inspires me to keep going. Totally. Thank you all so much. If you are a new member, if you just became a member, click that link from the Nightbot in the chat so you can set up link your Discord to your YouTube account and get into our exclusive Discord. If you're not a member yet, click that join button. Get yourself a free sample pack. You can submit music to our track review stream on Saturday, which I'll be listing shortly. The next time I will see you live will be on my channel on Thursday, making music. If you haven't yet, please go to youtube.com/343labs and subscribe, because there's lots of amazing live streams happening over there as well, multiple times per week, like really good music making streams. And we are brought to you today by 343 Labs, an amazing electronic music school based online, Berlin, and in New York. So if you're in any of those places, we're all online, by the way, you can take a class, mixing and mastering, Ableton, Logic, synthesis and sound design. There's bundles, not pay all at once, but what do you call that? Pay every month. Installment plans. Is that what I want to say? 343labs.com, and you will see all the details. The link is in the description. Thank you all so much for a great show. Thank you, Sosha. Thank you all the callers for having a great conversation. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like on the way out. That's going to be it. See you all on stream on Thursday. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.